Tonight we are about to meet an extraordinarily remarkable woman whose courage and vision defied every limitation of her era. Sibylla Merian chose to turn away from ordinary settled life well into her middle years, crossing vast turbulent ocean waters to journey deep into the uncharted rainforests of Suriname in South America. She did not embark on this distant voyage to run away from the world around her. Instead, she set out on a heartfelt pursuit, longing to witness firsthand how those delicate winged creatures fluttering among blooming flowers rose gently from humble crawling beginnings to achieve miraculous rebirth and transformation. Wrapped in soft quiet stillness and the faint warm glow of flickering flames, let us walk slowly through this peaceful narrative and drift into her long profound dream filled with lush green vitality and boundless tender love for all living things. Have you ever paused to wonder how a single woman managed to reshape humanity's entire understanding of insects and the natural world during the 17th century, an age when scientific exploration was firmly locked as an exclusive privilege reserved for educated men of high status and power? Sibylla Merian bridged the deep divide between rigorous scientific observation and delicate artistic beauty with her meticulous brushwork and patient lifelong research, mending the fractured separation between rational academic inquiry and soft aesthetic appreciation of nature. Her life story unfolds amid the damp, misty atmosphere of tropical rainforests, the soft rustle of countless fluttering butterflies and moths, and the complete quiet transformation of a brave, independent spirit who broke free from social confinement to rewrite natural history. Close your eyes gently and follow this tranquil journey as we dive deep into the quiet heart of that ancient untouched jungle hidden far beyond the boundaries of the known civilized world. Some souls are born to live out their existence as a breathtaking complete metamorphosis, a profound spiritual rebirth mirroring the very life cycle of the insects she devoted her life to studying. Sibylla Merian, the trailblazing pioneering entomologist and natural artist, made an unyielding resolute choice at the age of 50, ending her long unfulfilling marriage and stepping boldly into the unknown to launch one of the earliest recorded solo scientific expeditions undertaken by a woman in human history. She did not merely capture the fleeting delicate beauty of butterflies on canvas, she painted the unspoken truth of life itself, the quiet struggle of small creatures enduring harsh environments, the still stillness of long silent dormancy, and the magnificent moment of breaking free to spread wings and soar toward the light. Beside the warm gentle hearth fire on this quiet night, let us listen to the timeless story of this graceful rainforest goddess and learn how she spent her whole life holding fast to her inner persistence, confronting the narrow prejudice and rigid restriction of her times with quiet unshakable tenderness and unwavering resolve. Picture the bustling windswept docks of Amsterdam in the year 1699, where thick salty sea breeze tangled softly around the simple dress of a weathered elderly woman standing alone at the edge of the harbor. She had already reached the age of 52, a stage of life where most women in that rigid traditional era were expected to surrender fully to the fixed arrangements of fate, settle into quiet retirement, and spend their remaining days in peaceful domestic seclusion. Yet Merian bravely sold nearly all her household furniture, precious art collections, and lifelong paintings, gathering her limited savings to embark on an unprecedented journey, accompanied only by her youngest daughter, boarding a rugged wooden sailing ship bound for the remote, mysterious lands of Suriname in South America. In the eyes of European civilized society during that century, this distant tropical territory was nothing more than a wild primitive wilderness, a dangerous land haunted by fatal disease, brutal wilderness, and untamed savagery, a place rational people dared never to venture. This fearless, determined woman was Sibylla Merian, and her purpose for undertaking such a perilous long journey seemed utterly absurd and incomprehensible to her contemporaries. She traveled thousands of miles solely in search of butterflies and small insects, determined to observe with her own eyes the complete hidden process through which slow-crawling larvae transformed into magnificent colorful flying creatures. Tonight, beside the soft dancing glow of the burning hearth, we follow this gentle, unhurried story that needs no forced remembrance and step into the true life journey hidden beneath Merian's legendary achievements and quiet revolutionary courage. Within this slow, soothing telling, we will hear the distant soft patter of rain falling upon dense jungle canopies and witness how one resilient human soul underwent a thorough, profound metamorphosis, just like the insects she carefully documented in every fine detail of her artwork. During the 17th century, when Sibylla Merian grew up, human understanding of nature remained shrouded in thick ignorance and confused misunderstanding, leading to countless false assumptions about the origin and life cycles of small creatures. Powerful authoritative scholars of the time firmly clung to the misguided belief that insects spawned spontaneously from muddy soil, rotting flesh, and decaying organic matter. These tiny, fragile beings were dismissed with contempt and labeled as vile creatures of the devil, unworthy of careful study or gentle observation. Hidden away within a quiet secluded courtyard in Frankfurt, Germany, a young Merian viewed the natural world through an entirely different lens, guided by innate curiosity and gentle compassion for every living thing. Born into a renowned family of skilled engravers and printmakers, she possessed an exceptionally sharp, observant eye, trained from childhood to notice the tiniest subtle movements and delicate details lurking beneath green leaves and thin plant stems. For weeks on end she would sit quietly alone beneath dim soft lamplight, tending to containers filled with slow-crawling caterpillars, patiently watching their steady rhythm as they chewed fresh green foliage and adapted to their small confined surroundings. This quiet, devoted fascination struck her neighbors as strange and unsettling. They could not understand why a refined, proper young lady would become obsessed with such slimy, ugly, creeping creatures commonly feared and rejected by ordinary people. Yet in her private personal journals, Merian wrote peacefully that whenever she watched these tiny larvae spin the first thin threads of silk and wrap themselves tightly within thick protective cocoons, she could feel the quiet, gentle breath of divine creation lingering in every small cycle of nature. Her careful observation held no selfish gain or ambitious academic pursuit. It was simply a pure, peaceful spiritual practice, a quiet connection with the subtle hidden laws governing all living things in the natural world. Using the delicate artistic techniques taught by her father, she recorded every stage of insect life with precise, delicate brushwork on fine parchment, capturing each tiny egg, slow-moving larva, still silent pupa, and the final magnificent moment when newly mature butterflies spread their wings to take flight. For the first time in recorded human history, one person fully documented the complete closed life cycle of insects, revealing the seamless, continuous transformation connecting every stage of their existence. Even so, the heavy chains of traditional marriage and the overwhelming social prejudice of her era soon closed in attempting to trap her curious, observant gaze once again within the narrow, confined boundaries of domestic life and limited female expectation. Merian's early adulthood unfolded within a life of elegant, restrained comfort, masked by quiet inner suppression and unspoken dissatisfaction. She married a skilled local painter, raised two beloved daughters, and established herself as a respected, refined art instructor within Amsterdam's high social circles, admired and praised by noble ladies of the city. She taught wealthy noble women to embroider vivid, lifelike floral patterns and replicate the soft, changing hues of spring upon fine, luxurious silk fabrics, crafting delicate, beautiful works tailored to the graceful taste of upper-class society. To everyone around her, her life appeared perfectly complete and fulfilling, blessed with stable family life, social recognition, and elegant daily comfort. Yet only Merian herself understood that the wild, free wilderness deep within her heart had never been tamed or satisfied by trivial domestic routine. The earliest sketches and careful observations that would later evolve into her monumental work, the Metamorphosis Insectorum Surinamensium, quietly took root and grew amid the repetitive, tedious demands of her constrained daily life. In heartfelt letters written to close friends, she confessed her growing weariness of painting lifeless, cut flowers arranged inside expensive decorative vases, fading slowly day by day, stripped of their natural environment and living vitality. What she longed to witness and record was the raw, unfiltered truth of nature, the intricate balance of symbiosis, predation, growth, and gentle decay shared between wild plants and small insects existing together in untamed natural habitats. Her marriage had long since grown cold and hollow, undermined by her husband's arrogant indifference and complete lack of understanding for her passionate scientific interests, leaving her feeling trapped and confined, much like a beautiful butterfly sealed inside a narrow glass jar, gasping for open freedom. In an age when women were granted almost no legal property rights and divorce was widely condemned as scandalous and immoral, Merian made a bold, shocking decision that stunned the entire city, choosing to leave her broken, loveless household and depart with her young daughters. She joined a quiet, disciplined religious community with gentle, reclusive customs and subtle mystical tendencies, escaping the noise, judgment, and restriction of secular society. Within this peaceful, secluded refuge, free from worldly chaos and social pressure, she finally reclaimed her freedom, picking up her brushes once again to engage in long, silent, thoughtful dialogue with the smallest, most overlooked creatures of nature, devoting years to careful observation, detailed drawing, and quiet reflection. By the age of 50, Merian had slowly saved enough humble savings to purchase a one-way ship ticket bound for distant Suriname, ready to chase the lifelong dream she had nurtured through decades of suppression and waiting. The moment she stepped foot upon the lush, steamy, endlessly green rainforest landscape, she felt no trace of fear or unease, only a profound, quiet sense of belonging, as if she had finally returned to the natural home her soul had always longed for. Ignoring the constant threat of tropical miasma, venomous snakes, dense, tangled vegetation, and unpredictable wild dangers of the jungle, she wandered tirelessly among towering ancient trees, climbing rugged slopes and exploring hidden clearings with the eager determination of a young, devoted apprentice. Indigenous women native to Suriname became her most trusted wise guides, teaching her to recognize unique local plant species with special natural properties and sharing ancient knowledge about nocturnal larvae that emitted faint soft glowing light within the dark shadowed undergrowth. Surrounded by the endless constant chorus of insect calls echoing through the thick humid air of the rainforest, Merian's artistic style grew far more vivid, dynamic and alive, shedding rigid formal restraint to capture the true untamed spirit of the wilderness. She no longer focused solely on delicate beauty and graceful appearance, choosing instead to paint the harsh, honest side of nature, capturing the cruel sight of spiders hunting small birds, the impressive organized strength of ant colonies carrying enormous leaves, and the quiet struggle of all living things striving to survive. In her detailed hand-drawn illustrations, the natural world transformed from lifeless static specimens into an endless active ecosystem, a gentle yet unforgiving laboratory shaped by natural balance, competition, adaptation and continuous renewal. Prolonged work within damp, muddy tropical conditions gradually weakened her physical health, and the lingering threat of malaria cast a heavy shadow over her daily life, bringing repeated fever, exhaustion and physical suffering. Yet every time she witnessed a magnificent blue morpho butterfly struggle slowly out of its thick, tough cocoon, stretching and unfolding its stunning iridescent wings beneath thin rays of sunlight filtering through dense forest canopies, all pain, fatigue and hardship faded away completely. Deep reverence for the resilience and quiet strength of natural life sustained her through 2 full years of rigorous field research, allowing her to accumulate countless sketches, detailed notes and rare biological specimens, enough to rewrite established scientific understanding of insects and tropical ecology forever. During her time in Suriname, she existed not only as a careful, objective recorder of natural phenomena but as one deeply connected to the beating rhythm of the ancient wild land, breathing in harmony with the slow, unchanging pulse of the jungle around her. In 1701, severe declining health forced Merian to end her tropical expedition and return to the crowded, familiar streets of Amsterdam, carrying several large, heavy trunks filled with precious specimens, detailed field sketches and hundreds of delicate watercolor illustrations. When her vibrant, richly colored, intensely lifelike paintings of Suriname's unique wildlife were revealed to the European scientific community, scholars across the continent fell into stunned silence, utterly unprepared for such raw, comprehensive, vivid depictions of untouched tropical nature. Never before had the world seen natural art so deeply authentic and fully integrated, capturing complete ecological connections rather than isolated, disconnected creatures and flowers. Her work irrefutably proved that insect metamorphosis was not merely a simple physical change but an epic, lifelong journey intertwined with climate, habitat and the complex web of surrounding natural life. Even the great Peter, Emperor of Russia, sent special envoys to collect her original artworks, placing them among the most treasured collections of the Imperial Museum in recognition of their unparalleled scientific and artistic value. Despite rising fame, widespread admiration and lasting historical influence, Merian maintained her quiet, modest lifestyle in her later years, remaining calm, restrained and unassuming, far removed from public praise and social vanity. She continued working steadily inside her private studio, refining every fine texture of caterpillars' wings and plant foliage, even as her eyesight slowly dimmed with age, relying on long-practiced muscle memory and innate artistic intuition to capture subtle light, shadow and delicate detail. She never craved official academic titles or formal recognition as a pioneering entomologist. For her, the greatest reward was simply the quiet peace of sitting patiently beside green leaves, waiting silently to witness the sacred, timeless moment of new life emerging from stillness and dormancy. In the final days of her long, extraordinary life, she still tended carefully to small potted plants near her home, continuously observing and recording the endless, repeating cycle of butterfly transformation that had fascinated her since childhood. Her own life journey mirrored the perfect metamorphosis she spent decades documenting, beginning as a quiet, dormant egg confined within strict social doctrine, struggling through long, restrictive domestic years like a feeding caterpillar, settling into quiet, introspective seclusion like a resting pupa, and ultimately achieving the most magnificent free flight amid the wild, boundless jungles of Suriname. Returning to the quiet question of female courage raised in the opening of our story, we begin to understand Merian's profound choice to journey into the far wilderness in her later years. She never sought to conquer nature or claim greatness through exploration. She only wished to witness and understand the pure, original face of all living things before her own life drew to a close. The timeless legacy she left behind extends far beyond her breathtaking, timeless paintings that still captivate viewers to this day. She gifted the world a powerful example of quiet courage, independent thought and graceful calm in the face of overwhelming uncertainty. The hidden truth of all transformation lingers within her story. Every period of quiet dormancy prepares living things for stronger, more powerful flight. Every moment of gentle stillness paves the way for stepping bravely into the light. Now this peaceful tale drifts softly away with the night breeze, and the distant gentle sound of rain falling upon Suriname's rainforests slowly fades into quiet memory. On this serene deep night may you set aside the trivial burdens and daily weariness weighing upon your heart, settling into calm tranquil rest like the quiet butterflies folding their wings in Merian's gentle paintings. Within the soft steady rhythm of your own breathing, wait patiently and peacefully for your own moment of transformation, renewal and graceful rebirth. Good night, and may you drift into gentle peaceful dreams filled with quiet life, soft light and endless quiet hope.